Ghana's animation king. Yeah, yesterday I told you when I was announcing that we'll ask him the difference between animation and cartoon. His name is Cecil Jones Aban, and he's here with us. He's the animation director, Parables Animation Studios. He's with us in the studios. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey,
it's a pleasure being here.
This conversation has been in the works for more than 6 months.
I know, right?
Finally
the day has come.
I know. I mean, I'm happy to have you in the studios.
Yeah.
So yesterday I was telling them that you were coming, and I said you were going to tell us the difference. The first question we'll ask you before we start the conversation is, what's the difference between animation and cartoon?
Okay, so good morning, cherished listeners. My name is Cecil Jones. I'm a cartoonist and animator. So now I think okay, so a cartoon is simply, let me put it, a funny drawing. So it's an image. It's a drawing. So any funny looking cartoon character, any funny looking image, a caricature, these are all cartoons. Now, when you start to move them and let them laugh, talk, sneeze, and do everything, then it becomes animation. Yes. So a single picture is a cartoon. When it starts talking, moving, jumping, and squashing all over the place, then it becomes animation. So we have animated cartoons.
Oh, wow. First lecture of the day. Please, that thing moving is animation. If it is there,
if it's
it
there,
is a cartoon.
single shot. So if I just draw you, it's a cartoon. As soon as you start moving your head and dancing and jumping, it becomes animation. So animated cartoons, that's the difference.
Wow. We'll come to you as a person because there are interesting stories about you online.
Okay.
Some saying you a pharmacist who became a cartoonist, and we'll find out all that. But could you give us a background as to what is the history like of animation in this country? Okay.
So it dates back way into the 60s, where the German government was trying to establish an institution here to educate people on the social issues, some of advocacy,
some civic things.
Yes, kind of thing. And so they started at GBC, and then they recruited a few students and like about 4 students and trained them so that they use animation as a tool for advocacy, teaching on social issues, political issues and stuff. I think that Herman Frenchman, I've forgotten the name, I can't pronounce it very well. But they started at GBC, and then they trained 4 animators. One's name is Abebrese, and then there's other 3, just skip me.
Okay.
But those people became, the first animation students. They also decided to train other people. So from GBC, they started using animation as a tool to do whatever they were being trained to do. At some point in time, it was moved from GBC when NAFTI was established. It was moved to GBC to NAFTI to become a department. So now they started an animation department in NAFTI, where they started training animators. So I have the privilege of being trained on a job training by one of the early graduates from NAFTI, who is Alex Bannerman.
Oh, okay.
And then there was Sambo Kwate, and then there was Ramatu, who is currently director of NAFTI, and then so many other people, So then NAFTI started it. Currently, we have other institutions doing animation. We have KNUST doing animation. There's animation in I think Winneba University.
Okay.
There's UCC, University of Cape Coast as well, and some other institutions around that are doing animation.
So Ghana has a lot
We
of
do. There's a lot. And there are a lot of animators in the system who are working, doing wild things.
And where are their works?
Oh, yeah. So now this is where the Coleco Plus comes in, because we realize that it's not visible. People can't see. For there to be an industry, there has to be visible works.
Of course.
Yes. So we are trying to put all those works together. We've created this app where we are hosting all animators.
Yeah, we'll talk about Coleco app.
So then this question of where are they will be answered by that.
Yeah. So that's a history.
It is a history. Then, along the way, animation was being used to do advocacy. Zingaro came in somewhere in the 1980s.
I remember Zingaro.
Yes, in the 1980s, 90s. And then he also kept the trend. And then also, so then we moved from advocacy into commercials. This export Ghana, export Ghana, Alex Bannerman and co.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Something, the food company complex animation.
The tuna.
Yeah, the Star Kids tuna was also one.
Tuna.
So we moved from advocacy into commercials. Then I also came to the scene. We started doing music videos and then TV series, and now we're doing features. So it's come a long way.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's been there. People have been working. And
Akwara Ukohin was
it's
what?
Zingaro. It's a
That's
Zingaro
production.
That's in the 19.
And that was commercial.
Yeah, that's also.
Where was the boy going?
He was going to library.
Yeah, but what was that thing about?
So it was about what do you call it? Addiction to cocaine. The guy, those people, drug abuse.
It was a drug abuse.
So the child was going to the library, and this guy's interrupting it. So why? Who call here? So I'm going to call library. And so okay, we have this thing. Have you tried it? They said no. Then it stops them. They fall down.
It's true. Okay, so it started with civic education, social issues,
exactly,
and then it moved in. Now we've grown it into movies and all that.
But still, the civic education is still ongoing.
Yeah. And then you came on the scene, and you changed the whole thing. You took it to another level. I mean, first of all, you took it in a way, and that is why our conversation today is on cultural preservation.
Okay, yes.
Because if I'm not mistaken, one of your biggest works is the 28th February,
the Crossroads
thing.
Yes.
Where did this dream or this? Why didn't you also go into commercial straight away? Why did you? Because although you are doing feature, your feature is still Ghanaian.
Yes.
When you could have done any other thing.
Exactly. You see, so the whole journey started with, by the Fireside Stories, where we're telling Anansi stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Then we also got exposed to Cartoon Network contents. Mm-hmm. So I noticed how they were using these cartoons and animated cartoons, let me use that word, to communicate their culture, their history. So I realized that kids knew more about Abraham Lincoln. They knew more about the foreign heroes and stuff, but less about us. So I felt like, okay, why don't we repackage our Nancy stories and present them in the same way that the kids love, so that we can also make an attempt to preserve our cultural stories, our folklore, our history. So everything started from there. So we put together our first animated feature film, which is Anansi Must Die. That is in 2009. And it went very well, and the response was very receptive. We had a lot of people say, Charlie, we need more of this stuff. So it encouraged us. Okay. Then that was folklore. So I felt like, okay, history is also very important. This is a way of preserving and documenting our history. Let the kids know about history. So we came up with this National Heritage Project, in-house production, where we will package Ghana's history to tell them to the younger generation, for them to learn about wherever we're coming from. So we packaged the first story we decided to do. We had a series of stories. And the first one we had on the plate was 28th the Crossroad, because this is what actually sparked the drive for independence.
It's true.
Yeah, so we said, okay, let's tackle it from here, and then we'll move on to the Kwame Nkrumah story, and then we'll keep going back to the Ashanti Kingdom and the Northern stories.
So there are so many stories you haven't told.
Yeah, currently I'm working.
So many stories.
The interest is been long, because we don't have all the resources. It's taking time for us to put them together and do another one. So we did the 28th Crossroads 2009, and that also went very well. I mean, we did a lot of research. There was so many information out there, but we did in-house, in-depth research work to find exactly what happened over there on the crossroad, and all those information went to the University of Ghana. All those information came together, and then we produced the script and we went out there. So it's a way of, we realized that children learned a lot. They now know who is Sergeant Ajete, what happened to him, the two other people, why they went for the this thing, and then also the story itself didn't just talk about the shooting, but
you gave it a bit of a background,
so that you actually appreciate why they went to the place. And the remake that we did, I mean, you actually fall in love with it. There's nobody who has watched that movie without crying, because you get attached to the characters, you get attached to the story, you appreciate whatever happened. So the question is, they didn't get what they wanted at the end of the day. So it didn't happen. But
I mean, the 28th,
yes,
28th, the Crossroads animation.
Yes.
I have watched it.
Yes.
And that leads me to my next question.
Okay.
It looks like a very difficult job to pull off an animation.
It is. So this is the explanation. Let me break it down. Mm-hmm. Animation is a process of putting together a series of cartoon images in a sequential order. Okay, so if I want to animate my hand moving from here there, I do this first drawing, and then the last position where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Then I fill it. So from here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it becomes when I draw.
You must draw all.
I must draw all of them. So animation is actually 25 images in a second that you see.
Whoa! Don't go too fast. And these 25 images, you must draw all of them.
All of them, paint all of them, put appropriate backgrounds, and then play it, put in appropriate software like Toon Boom, Premiere, anything that you want to use, and play it at that rate. So within a second, you're actually seeing 25 images.
Hey.
So if you're doing a 60-second commercial, you're looking at 1,500 drawings put together. So sometimes when people come to me and say, we need this commercial like yesterday,
it is impossible. Wait. So if you drew the let's say, let me use you draw the person the hand.
Yes.
You just don't have to do only the hand.
No,
25.
Sometimes depending.
You must do the whole body.
Yes. No, depending on which angle, which shot you want to do. If there are ways now, the softwares have helped to ease the job, but certain key positions have to be there for it to be
and
convincing.
That you must draw.
You must draw, yes.
But when I was drawing during my kindergarten days, there is absolutely no way I could draw two characters the same.
Yes.
So explain this to me.
So that's where you have in-betweeners. There's a key artist and there's an in-betweener. And in-betweener is the one who fills the gaps between the two key frames. Now that person has to be a very good copycat. That when you draw one, I can replicate that same thing looking differently, like in a different pose angle, but looking the same. So normally what happens is that when I design a character, like the Sergeant Ajete character, I provide the profile, how he looks front, how he looks on the side, 3/4 view, and then the back view. So if I'm drawing the guy moving a certain angle, I'll make reference to how he looks on the left and draw that.
Wow.
Yes. So that's how it works like.
And you are drawing on what? Paper or what?
Okay, so it used to be paper, cell animation. Now we have computer generated. So now you can draw. Initially, you draw on paper, scan, and paint. That was that's what the technique I used in 28. Anansi Must Die in the 28, the first episode.
Okay.
It was a job. I mean, you go and come, you've done just 10 seconds of work. Yeah, but now technology has improved. You have the digital stylus where you draw directly on the computer in the same software. So you just have to paint, and put that back. So another background artist also comes. You tell him that, okay, this shot is taking place at the Independence Arc. I want that Independence Arc picture captured.
It means he must know how the Independence Arc looks like.
So you have to make reference. Go online or go to the place and take a shot of the angles and then replicate that and then give it to me and I place it there and then we shoot. Then when you're done with that, that is the visuals. Then it comes to the sound. Okay, what sound is in the background? There's a wind blowing. So, and the sound effect person puts the wind in the background.
So there's a whole team behind this thing.
Yes, when you're done with that, then it comes to voice over. Somebody has to voice the characters. So he has to speak, we record, looking at the mood, he acts. So it's more like voice acting. It's voice acting. Yes, voice acting. When you take that file, you put it down. Then somebody also has to come and score.
Music.
Yes. So the mood, if it's a happy mood, you play it. If it's a sad mood, you play it. If it's a cartoon, all those things, you play all that.
On a keyboard.
On a keyboard. Then we pick that file again, and then we give it to the editor. Charlie, this is a storyboard. This is what is happening in this scene. Put them together. And then all that is done. Then we render, and when we look for Saber's best cinema or something.
This is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And it's tedious when you don't have everything available, but still, I mean, for me personally, I didn't have all the resources, but I had to find my way around all of them to get there.
But that's a lot of work.
It is.
Which is why it's expensive.
Yes, that's why it's expensive. And if you want a feature film like this can take, it took us about a year to put together the 28th Crossroads. It can take longer though, but depends. But we took a year to produce that content.
Still on the production. Now you've done it, we are going to look for. Then it means that there must be somebody doing voice casting.
Yeah, all those people come into play. So somebody doing the voice casting, he looks at it, he reads the script, they say, okay, I think Ajete Anand fits this role.
Amazing work Ajete Anand did.
Yes.
And the name and everything. You know, his name and the main character's name.
Exactly. So somebody says, okay, I think Ajete Anand will do best. Then you find other people. When that is done, even when you get to the studio, someone has to direct him.
Okay.
Yeah, so the voice director is also there. Okay, this is what is happening in this shot. He's running, so be panting as you're speaking, or he's eating, so be chewing as you're speaking. All of that. So all those things take place behind the scenes.
Hey, listeners, it's just around 9:25 thereabouts, and Cecil Jones Aban is an animation director for Parables Animation Studios. Today is a Thursday, and as always, it's an art, culture, and tourism conversation. We're using animation as a tool for Ghanaian cultural preservation, and he does Ghanaianness in his works. Then you moved into Mighty Joe. Tell me, who is Mighty Joe?
So Mighty Joe is our environmental superhero. We realized again, children wanted a hero.
I grew up with Captain Planet.
Me too. I watched all those episodes. So that it also came from there. So we wanted to create something of our own, something that we can actually, appreciate and say, okay, this looks like it. He speaks like it. So let's follow him. Captain Planet is nice, but it doesn't solve our personal problems here. He's not dealing with Galamsey. He's not dealing with So we had to find a hero that will solve and tackle some of those issues. So we created Mighty Joe and cartoon series, and it came. Actually, we did it almost way before I went to tech. Mighty Joe was done way before I went to tech. Actually, a comic series. So when the Galamsey issue came way back in, I think. Like 10 years. Actually, it's actually been 10 years. We realized another opportunity to relaunch Mighty Joe.
So Mighty Joe existed
long
before it became an animation character.
So, I did it. I went to so many places looking for sponsorship.
Oh, you were going to use it as a comic?
Yes, a comic for advocacy again in environmental issues. So I went to so many places, Ghana typical. So I said, okay, let's hold on.
And then you went to school.
Yeah, I went to school, came back, and then the chance came. I said, okay, let's pick it up again.
And this time you got sponsorship?
Yes. No, still.
Oh, Mighty Joe hasn't got sponsorship?
No. This is us producing our own stuff. And you don't want to say, okay, because there's no sponsors, you won't do it. Let's go. At some point in time, if somebody says, hey, Charlie, I love this concept, I want to buy into it, Charlie, it's like you're already ready for it.
The things are there,
just take it and go. So we are still producing them. So we used Mighty Joe to tackle the Galamsey issue. We created a story around the Galamsey issue, and then suggested a solution to that, and then we started. Then beyond that, we also tackled flooding, Accra flooding. We did another episode on Accra flooding.
I recall that one.
That's the circle disaster.
Exactly.
We took advantage. We created a story around that. Also another Mighty Joe present. So it's a way of showcasing Ghanaian culture in these stories, and also telling us how to handle our environment, especially to the young generation. So when they grow up, they'll know how to do it right.
Oh, wow.
These older generations, sometimes they are
gone. We are gone. We are gone. We are gone.
So we hope to make that change at that level, one cartoon story at a time.
So Mighty Joe is still alive.
He's still alive.
Corporate Ghana, look for Mighty Joe.
As I've seen the Galamsey issue even getting worse, I'm like,
Mighty Joe might come back.
Another superhero story must come up again.
Yeah. Mighty Joe should solve our Galamsey problems and arrest all of these guys. If you don't know Mighty Joe, you should look for Mighty Joe. Mighty Joe is a great guy. He has this red, yellow, green superhero costume and all that. I recall him vividly. I'm so biased towards animation, and so that which is why I kept calling and saying, sister, we need to do this. We need to do this. What is it about you and the African story, cultural identity, and authenticity? What is it? Why can't you just do any other cartoon and let him wear baggy jeans and talk like a white man?
But I felt that we needed a representation. And the children, when I see some of the cultures they are picking up, it's not the best. So why don't you promote our culture? And I think we've had enough of those foreign ones. We've watched them now. We are even tired of them. When I see new movies coming, I was like, okay, it's the same storyline, same thing they're doing over and over. So, but we have rich stories. We can tell our stories. We have rich culture. Children, we know how to raise children the right way. So why don't you communicate all of that using animation for us as animators? We can use animation as a tool to do that. But it's something in me that I always want to see our culture represented. We want to communicate, even in the character designs that I do, designing Mighty Joe and other people, there should be a reflection of Ghana, the Ghanaianness in that character. So when it goes out, you see that, okay, this story is coming from Ghana. For instance, if you have the Japanese manga, nobody will tell
nobody.
This
You know it.
You know
the straight edges.
Exactly. And that's how they manage to transmit their culture and entertain people using their culture. Even nobody even bothers when they are speaking Chinese language or the Japanese language. They just want to watch it.
It's true.
So you learn certain words through that as well. So that is the whole idea. We can do something like that here so that we can preserve our culture. We can promote our culture because we have rich culture. We have rich heritage. And we need to promote that. Nobody will do that for us. We have to do it ourselves. And that is what we have decided that, Charlie, this is a little small way we can also help to promote our culture, promote our folklore and stuff.
One of the things that you were quoted as saying some time ago was that you employ subliminal methods to speak to the subconscious of your viewers.
Yes.
What is that? What did that mean, and how does that tie into this conversation of cultural preservation?
For instance, if you're watching a particular movie, those are the things people actually look out for. They say, this is very interesting. When you watch 28th, you don't just see a character walking up and down, and you see him doing certain petty things that you can relate to. For instance, the woman is talking, but she's grinding something in the, the kenke pots kind of thing. So those are the small things that we put in there for you to say, oh, she's grinding in a mortar.
She is Ghanaian.
This is typical Ghanaian. He's speaking English, and once in a while he says, come on, go with you, JJ. That is there.
So that's what you mean.
Yeah, so those small little things, he's driving past a place, you can actually identify that this is the Independence Arc, in the background. So those are the small, tiny things that I put in. His dressing is there. And then, typical things that they do. And if this one, the typical Ghanaian of saying, that kind of things. He's talking to go with you.
Yeah, I noticed that
yes, exactly.
in your works.
Petty things, yeah.
So meaning that animation has the power to not only preserve our culture, but actually to promote it.
Exactly. That's the whole idea. It's a very powerful tool. And what it does is that animation also gives you the flexibility to exaggerate.
It's true.
So you can exaggerate those actions to make that point. No law is against you. A character will just jump from a high building, crash, and his head bounces, crashes, and then he's back on, and then he's normal. So it gives you the ability to exaggerate to make your statement across. And that's what we've been using.
Wow. There was a scene in the 28th The Crossroad when Sergeant JT was eating or something.
Yes.
He was eating kinky
in
a plate. I've watched it, Paul. I have watched it, Paul, so I know what I'm talking about. He's eating kinky in a plate.
Yes.
And you know what was so Ghanaian about it? That took me way back to my growing up days in the village. There was a cup of water. And that cup looks like a metal cup, Koni. Those days, you drink from a metal cup. And I'm like, this guy, he's either a very bush boy, and so he recalls these things, or someone in his team must be a very bush boy. There was a cup by him. And so those are the things you're saying.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I've been there before.
This guy. I recall vividly. I've
lived in Labadi before, so I know that couple.
Couple. Yeah.
I'm on with him.
Yeah. Couple. They call it couple.
Yeah. That mug, you drink the tea in the mug.
So.
And did you see when he was doing the kinky, he made a hole in it?
Yeah, he did a kinky with his thumb. I'm like, hey, but this name, some bush boys are in that squad. But that for me tells a story.
Yes, exactly.
Now, with all the power of animation, why are we therefore underutilizing animation?
It's amazing. It's amazing. But it looks
why?
I think initially when we started out, the perception is that animation is in Kwalasem.
Okay.
It's kid stuff, So it's like, when I even suggested the idea to certain clients to try animations, like, this kind of kid stuff, we are not interested in blah. But when I did it for them and it worked, they actually came back.
Okay.
So people are beginning to appreciate animation now because now the live shows have gotten monotonous some way, somehow. So the other alternative now is animation. So it looks like it's now picking up. But before then, it wasn't so. They viewed it as kid stuff. you know, it's for children, no adult will like. But meanwhile, I'm old enough. I'm still loving
we watch
animation. If Disney is producing animation now, then it should tell you that
there's no age.
There's no age to animation.
There's
It casts age limits. But it's something that awareness has now been created, and people are now skewing towards animation. Because now I tend to get a lot of calls. Oh, we are doing animation. We want to do 3D animation. We want to do 2D animation. And now the awareness is there. So I think people, that perception will now change. Yeah.
Is money coming into animation as it should?
No, money is not coming in terms of external funding or generating money.
Making money from animation.
For that's how come I've been able to produce most of my shows. Is that business model, because I'm not getting the external ones. So I do businesses, and then out of that I extract some and say, okay, I'm reserving this for my show in December. We do it this way, pay for them. So it does generate money. Yes, it does.
You also have changed the face of animation in one very important way. You are the first I've seen who is blended theater performance and animation. Where did that concept? Because I've seen that show.
Yes.
And it was a birthday gift for my son.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
26th December.
Wow.
2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yes,
we came to watch that, where you blend theater arts and then animation. Tell us about that.
So like I said, it all comes back to living in that level. You know, back in the days, you sit by the fireside, they tell you stories, and then this coliko, you know, the paper, they put the cloth. Puppetry. They put a cloth and then the light in the background, and they do the paper cutouts. It all came from there. So I was like, okay, that's another form of animation. It's a form of cartoon telling stories. So why don't you also utilize the same thing? We've created animated stories. We have Anansi stories. We've created Anansi cartoon images, movies. So whilst we are telling the stories, then we shift into the big screen for them to watch the continuation of the story and then come back. It's something just to engage the children, just to get them excited. At the same time, you are pushing in the moral lessons in there. So it's not just entertaining them, they are laughing, and at the end of the day, they are walking away knowing that it is very important to be saving money. It is very important to be nice to people. It's very important to be respectful. All those moral values are in there. All these gimmicks are just ways of getting them engaging enough to communicate your lessons there.
Because I saw the excitement of the children that day. To the extent that when we left that show, the songs were still ringing in our mind. So, for instance, if one of us, you know, my son or daughter goes to do something which is not right, we could say, "Oh, Malay," you know, because that was a song we learned. It was a soundtrack of that. Is it deliberate for you to be targeting the kids, or is it that because kids are more appreciative of animation, that is why your audience are children?
I think my focus has been children because I believe they are the future generation leaders. They are the leaders.
Okay.
And we need to raise them right, you know, because if you look at today's generation, we were pruned more because of our parental, you know, everybody was strict, but they are not having it right now. And they are more glued to their laptops and online stuff, which are not pushing in the right messages. So we feel like we need to focus and play here. And again, yes, it's part of it. Kids, the little thing, they appreciate it.
They were excited.
I mean, sometimes I watch and I was like, why are they laughing? It's like, I watched the movie, the kids, Ajite's movie, the intro, the kids were laughing. I was like, oh, okay. So I look out for some of these, you know, reactions and then use them in subsequent ones.
Okay.
Yes. So when I do the live shows, I know what they like, what they love, where they laugh. Then I capture that and I put that in the next episode and production. But they are very receptive, and so I want to target children so that parents will be fine that, Charlie, we went to a show, there was no concern to be worried about what is being communicated to children.
It was a very wholesome event. I mean, it's a kind of event that I enjoyed it because I sat at the back, appreciated what you were doing. And you were using very good actors.
Charlie, there are people in the country.
Good actors. And you were blending everything.
Yes. They are very talented people. Some of them came from the National Theatre. Some of them from KNUST. I've worked with Yoku, for instance.
Yeah, I remember Yoku.
Yeah, Yoku too. Yeah. So all these people, it's the background I grew up with. I was like, Charlie, we've been doing this in the background. Let's move out and just experiment with all that we've been doing on campus.
Talking of how expensive animation is, this one I have to put you on the spot.
Okay.
So someone like Ajite Anan, being the voice of Sergeant Ajite. You pay him?
Yes. Now, this is how it works like. Ajite Anan has been very generous. He has appreciated our works and he's trying to support us.
Okay.
I haven't had the money to pay him off completely, but he says, actually, I believe in what you're doing. Whatever you can get for me, I'm fine with it. When you hit, you can always come back.
Oh, that's so good.
That's how Ajite Anan has been with us. So anytime I have a job, Charlie, what's up? So when I get something, I just go by, Charlie, be small, yeah.
Take this one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lovely relationship.
That's how it's been like with some of them. There are others that you realize that the whole idea is about the money.
So you have to find money and pay them.
Find money and just pay them and just move on. But Ajite Anan and some of the other guys too who have come on the current projects have all used that approach, believing that this is going to work. And me, trust me, if it works, Charlie.
No, knowing you will go back and pay everybody their dues. Yeah. I mean, I know that. We've known each other for years. So, so for listeners, I was on campus with Cecil. Those days we didn't even call him Cecil Jones Aban. His name was Parables, the one and only Parables. It's 20 minutes at the top of the hour, meaning that we have just about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Now let's go into technology.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden, out of the blues, you started going heavy on technology, and you disappeared for a while.
Yes.
In fact, you didn't disappear. I'm going to say why. You went on a heavy advocacy against a certain law which is being struggled to be passed. You went heavy on that.
Yeah.
Because how important or how relevant is your personal beliefs? How do they influence the kind of work you do?
It does a lot. Because of parables itself is, it comes from the Bible.
Exactly.
Yes, it's the parables of Jesus. He's speaking and teaching people. So a parable is it's a short story with a moral lesson. And all the moral lessons are biblical based, our cultural values, I incorporate all of that. So all those stories are very prominent. They are key to me. I mean, I can't do anything outside the moral fiber that the Bible offers. So if you bring anything that is outside that range,
you won't touch it.
I won't touch it. And I've had so many offers come to me, Charlie, we are doing this, that thing, that angle. Any money you quote, Charlie, we'll give it to you. I was like, Charlie, I want the money, but this I can't, because I don't want to be accountable for the mess it's going to create. You understand? Yes. There are moral consequences to some of these things. And I don't want to battle that. I want to raise children who are morally sound. People that I know that, okay, they were well raised, we incorporated the right messages in them. That is what I want to do. So anything that falls outside that, I don't go in that area.
Even if you are going to be broke?
Yes.
You won't take money to...
No, I won't.
Because I saw you do some heavy work around the rainbow.
It's come at a very serious cost.
I can imagine.
Yes.
I was worried when you started for you. I was like, what is my brother getting himself into? Because you were heavy on the rainbow campaign.
It comes at the cost. But I mean, Christ paid the worst for us. I mean, he did the best. So I mean, what's there? And for me, even if I'm cut off from that area, so I mean, I've been surviving. I have my jobs from other places, so it doesn't look like it's something that is going to affect me in any way. I'm living my life. I'm doing what I have to do. If you don't like it, I'm not forcing you. I mean, we also...
You to do you.
Yeah, you to do you.
Do you,
it's not
he's
my
doing
fault. Yeah. So, but you to tell me that because of what I do, you won't... I've been there before you came, so let's keep going.
And then we went tech.
Yes.
Why... what is pushing you, or what has pushed you into the tech space?
Okay. So, like you said, always the question... People are always saying, are these contents being produced in Ghana? Do we have animated contents from Ghana? Are there animators in the country? All of this is like, okay, so it looks like everything that we're doing is scattered. So let's find a common platform to host all the Ghanaian contents there for people to see that, okay, if I want this style of animation to be done for me, I can call this studio and say, Charlie, I like your style. Let me do it for you. Or if you want entertainment in this area, all of that will be accessible on that platform. So we came up with the Koliko Plus app. It's a mobile platform. Yes.
So there's a mobile app called Koliko Plus.
Yes. And Koliko is a Ghana Dangbe word, which is representing like puppetry.
Yes.
Yes. So, puppetry has strings.
Exactly.
So the whole idea is that we are controlling the narrative that is going out there. We want to control the stories that are going out there. These are Ghanaian stories. This is a true reflection of Ghanaian culture. We want to keep in control. We want to take charge. So that's why we use that Koliko and the logo.
Yeah, I've seen the logo.
Exactly, yeah. Okay. So the whole idea is to take charge of the narrative and amass all Ghanaian animated contents there. So families can go there and find animated shows, current shows and old shows. Akwala Zingaro's works, they are there. You can access them. And then also we've created a channel for institutions like NAFTI. So there's a students' reel where their graduate students' project works are also hosted on that platform. So if you're a student interested in going to do animation and you want to know which school to go to, you can go to the app, look at the students' reel, see the kind of works that are coming from that school and say, okay, I want to go to NAFTI, all right?
Wow.
All of that, yes. And then we also have a place for advocacy animation. Animation that is talking about don't drive and text. Animation that's talking about health issues, diabetes. Animation that's talking about hypertension. All those things that are there. And then, there are some music videos. And then Anansi stories.
Anansi stories.
Yeah. So all those things are packaged. We are creating new content. Once you start things like that, the issue now is content.
Yeah, now
you have to supply the content. And so we have had a 2-year plan of producing contents and putting them up there for people to access. Now, the app is available on both Android
App Store and then the Google Play.
Yes, so just type Koliko Plus and then you can download them and log on. And so, that's what we've been doing. And
wait, how are you going to make money out of this?
Yeah, so we have paid contents and free contents. So for the paid contents, you pay to watch and access it. For now, once you buy it, it's there for you to watch as long as your app remains on your phone. Yeah, but we haven't done the subscription where you subscribe and then you have access. No, we haven't done that model yet. We just want you to watch pay per content that you want to see. So people who we get other animators work on them. If they want to sell it, we just come to an agreement. Okay, we sell it for you.
Yeah, you become the platform.
Yeah, the platform. Yeah, so you give us some percentage, and then we can promote your works for you too. But we are selling some of the content, and I'm hoping Ghanaians will go there and buy the content. Even if you're not watching, please buy for us because we need the money.
You need the money to produce more.
Yeah, to produce more.
There is a content called Chaskele. What is in that content?
Okay, so it's the Chaskele game.
Yeah, I know Chaskele.
Yeah, so these guys, O2 Studios, they produced a story around that kind of game, and then they added some new technology. Digital-based kind of spin to the story. So it's about that game that some boys in the that's area in the...
I play Chaskele and I'm not from that area.
Yeah.
I know the area you're pointing.
Jamestown.
No, we play
I can
Chaskele.
see the lighthouse, but then
yeah, Jamestown.
So that's the whole idea, just to bring back that kind of game to tell the children that once upon a time we're playing golf this way.
Yeah, so, Chaskele is like a combination of baseball, golf, and something. You know?
Sometimes it can be dangerous.
Yeah, Chaskele can be dangerous when you smash on a person's forehead.
Yeah.
I am that Kobolo.
Scatter.
Yeah, I am that Kobolo. Don't worry, I am that Kobolo. Chaskele and then Alikoto.
Alikoto, yes.
I am that bush.
So we were looking for all those contents. Anytime I see a new content, I just contact the person, Charlie, you want the thing here because the eyes are growing here. And they say, So
and Koliko Plus has both cartoons and animation?
Yes. It has. So we have a place for books, Anansi stories and other books, children's story books are there. You can download. Then we have movies. You can watch movies. And then wallpapers, so posters. And then also for Sunday school materials.
What is Jones Aban without Bible? If there's no Bible, there's no more Jones Aban.
So we have Sunday school activity. If you want to engage the kids, we have some coloring pages, paint pages, puzzles and stuff. And then also Bible verses to print, large format to print to, decorate your room. So all those things are downloadable. You can access, they are for free. Those ones are for free. Yeah.
Koliko Plus.
Yes.
Koliko Plus.
Yes.
Please, right now, if you're a listener, pick your phone, go check out Koliko Plus. Using animation to change the narrative around the Ghanaian conversation. You've been around for long, but one of the things I've also known is that you've pushed the Ghanaian animation conversation internationally. What is it like out there, especially within Africa, as compared to what we are doing here?
Okay, so one of the things I like to say is that the foreign ones pay.
The foreign contracts.
They don't argue about how much you're charging them. They don't say.
But you can understand. I mean,
yeah. So there's room for that. But when you say this figure, they say okay.
They
pay. So and for them, they pay for the content. They appreciate the content you are producing for them. I've had the opportunity of doing a content for NBC, Namibian broadcast, where I designed a. The Sesame Street kind of concept for them.
With big bed.
Yes. So I designed their version, all the characters. And
you had frogs in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sesame Street has a frog. It's called Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, that popular guy.
Yeah.
Drinking coffee.
Yeah, Kermit.
Yeah, so I had the opportunity to do that and produce animated content for them. And they were very appreciative. They supported it. And then, for their networks, they pay for the content.
So did you do this whilst in Ghana or you moved
I was here.
You didn't go to Namibia?
I didn't go there.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go there. I did everything here, send them the files, and they were playing it there. They invited me. I couldn't go. I had other engagements. I couldn't go. But it's always exciting to work with the foreign ones because you see that
they appreciate
the animation
more than we do.
The process involved, they know that it will take 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 1 month, and they give you room to do that. But here it's like as soon as they come, they want to work.
Time no day. Accra hot. Time no day.
But you've adjusted, this is how we are. So once you pick a Ghanaian job, you know that you have to produce within 2 weeks for them.
So you see outside Ghana people being more appreciative.
Yes.
But with 5 minutes to go, let me find out, what does the future look like in terms of animation, and then in terms of parables animation, and then in terms of Cecil Jones Saban?
I think at this point, it's just moving forward. Yes, there's no going back in this situation. I'm just looking forward to establishing one of the biggest Cartoon Network's version of, in Ghana, and hoping that we would break through into the international market with more of our features. So we are going into feature films productions, focusing on feature films because it has to marketable. Because it's easier marketing feature films than short films. Because you can go to the theater and show it there, people will come. But if it's a short film, 3 minutes, 15 minutes.
You can watch it on your phone.
They can watch it on their phone. So we want to move into the features. We want to establish this network, and also probably also along the way start a TV network that like Cartoon Network, something like that.
Fully animation.
Fully animation, cartoons from Ghana, selling to the world all over.
Wow.
And sell content to other foreign networks that are interested. That's where we want to take it. For me personally, like I said, that's the path. I know I have a pharmacy background.
The pharmacist who didn't do one pharmacy thing.
Oh, I did.
Okay. I
did practice.
Everybody talks about it.
My friends don't call me for advice in that.
Why will I call you for advice if my head is aching? When all you do is draw characters, I won't call you for medicine.
I still do continuous education, so I know what's going on.
Yeah, I know. He's an amazing guy. I mean, the pharmacist became an animation specialist. Are there many more parables coming behind you?
Yes, there are a lot of more parables. Especially
recently, you did a program where you were training. In fact, you do that often.
Often, yes.
You train young ones.
Young. That went very well. That's the Coleco Plus animation workshop. So those are things that have come to. They've come to stay. We'll be training young people. I saw a lot of talent. So like these people, we need to coach them.
Wow.
And pull them into our side and let them do more content. But yes, there are more contents coming. We are creating new cartoon series. We are creating feature films. We are doing both 2D and 3D and all.
What's the difference?
3D, I can show
Tom and Jerry is 2D.
Tom and Jerry is 2D, and then Shrek is 3D.
Shrek is 3D.
Yes,
okay.
Shrek is 3D, yes.
That is a quick way to explain it.
Yeah, so we are moving into all those areas, and viewers should be watching out for us. Some more exciting. There were some that wanted to release this year, but the election is coming. Everybody's...
Ghana won't do election. We don't do Coleco. We don't do Coleco when it's
nobody
election
have time for us, so we'll just push it to next year.
So this year we won't do that.
No, this year we'll do the Christmas
thing.
Yeah. But this time we are doing it at the children's library, which is
there's a children's library.
Yeah, there's
I don't know. I'm asking. There's a children's library.
It's at the golf house. Kaukudi roundabout, the children Ghana National Church.
Oh, the one on the right.
Yes, the one on the right. Yeah.
After some big man's house on the left, on the right.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I get it.
It's a very lovely place. Sometimes you pass by, you feel like there's nothing happening, but
I've driven there a million times. I've never seen.
There are people in that room because of security reasons. They keep everybody inside. But when you enter, I've counted like 150 children in there.
Oh wow!
Parents come, drop them off, and then go. But so that's where we are planning for 26 December.
I would attend this year as well.
Yes.
I mean,
we have a lot of exciting lineup this December. We are releasing a new Anansi story, and Anansi, we've done it the modern technology Anansi and a traditional one.
Oh, okay, wow. So they look different?
Yeah, they look different. They behave different. They do solving the same issue, but in a modern way, and then this one is a traditional way.
Eti Kilinkili will be there.
Yakonya
and all the rest. People, we're talking preservation of the Ghanaian culture. So when you hear some of these terms, we're preserving the rich history through cartoons and animation.
Yes.
And the man pushing that agenda is seated right here in the studios of Z101.9 FM. His name is Cecil Jones Aban. He's called Parables. if anyone who went to tech in between in 1998, there about 2002, thereabout, there's one and only Parables, and he's here. As always, an exciting conversation to have with him. He has a BSc in pharmacy, but when you call him, please talk about cartoons. He will give you some medicine that
therapeutic solution to your cartoon problems.
Yeah. Thank you. Any final words?
Charlie, thanks for hosting me. I'm very excited, and I'm just encouraging everybody to download the app. That's
Coleco Plus.
Yes, Coleco Plus. And let's just give us your comments, your reviews. Let's see where the issues you're having. Then we'll solve them all, and then we just move on to create one of the best platforms for Ghanaian contents. Marketable internationally.
Ghanaian content, marketable internationally. Yes. The man's name is Cecil Jones Aban. He's called Parables. 5 minutes to the top of the hour. I've been signaled. My time is up. Don't worry. I know my time is up. It's a Thursday edition. As always, an exciting conversation in arts, culture, and tourism. All too soon, I'm signing out. My name is Jerry Ham. Coming up at 10, it's the news.